Did the New York Giants do enough to get back into the postseason during the 2024 NFL Draft? We're going to talk about it here today. Really appreciate y'all tuning in to Rogue Football. I'm your host, Jordan Lugo. Obviously not at the same setup as normal, out here house sitting for the in-laws, but we're going to get into these New York Giants draft grades right here, right now. Really appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So the Giants, they got their draft kicked off at 6 overall with wide receiver Malik Neighbors. There was pre-draft buzz. Maybe the Giants want to go quarterback, but the bottom line is I think the Giants have to win right now. You know, Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, they have got to get themselves back into postseason contention. If they don't do that, they might not be around. So I don't think drafting a rookie quarterback would support what they're trying to accomplish right now. And that's kind of how teams stay in this cycle. But fact of the matter is, at 6 overall, the Giants landed a blue chip prospect in wide receiver Malik Neighbors, who is going to help Daniel Jones, Brian Daboll, and Joe Shane potentially get back into playoff contention, right? This pick gets an A for me. Malik Neighbors is instant offense. He's a 3-level threat. He did align a lot in the slot, but I think he can absolutely win on the outside, win as a Z, win as an X. So I don't think that you're limited in that regard. Like, this guy has plenty of versatility to move around the formation. His throttle, his acceleration, his top speed, his ability to quickly change speeds up and down, again, throttle up and down, make you miss, leave you in the dust as a defender, it's pretty much unparalleled. Like, this guy is going to be electric. In New York, he would have been electric no matter what offense he goes to. I think he can track the ball well deep down the field. He can absolutely catch the ball at all 3 levels of the field at a high level. There were a couple focus drops too many, but overall, Malik Neighbors gets a big-time A for me for the New York Giants with the 6th overall pick. I think that he was a top 5 prospect in this class because of the quarterback situation with some other teams. You saw some guys come off the board. In my opinion, Jaden Daniels came off the board too early, right? So I think Malik Neighbors is a great value for the Giants at 6 overall. He's going to help this offense get it going again. And again, you can get him the ball quickly, intermediate, deep down the field. He's going to be Daniel Jones' best friend. Now, the reason it's not an A+ is because I thought Rome Odunze was a little bit better fit for this particular offense, for this particular group of players. Like, they did have some speed in that receiving room already, but Malik Neighbors, you're not going to be mad about it for a second if you're a New York Giant. At 47 overall, safety Tyler Nuben, the second straight A grade for the New York Giants here, because Nuben, for me, he's a ball hawk. He sees the game incredibly well. He sees the field well. He's always where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be there. He's a good tackler, so he's going to help you against the run. He's going to help you against, you know, the short game, and he's going to help you turn the football over. He doesn't have elite athleticism. I initially had him ranked pretty much as a first rounder, moved him down to an early second round grade because he ran in the 4.58 range, I believe. Not quite as fast as I had hoped for Tyler Nuben, but still incredibly instinctive, incredibly smart, has great size and length. He is a ball hawk. I think Tyler Nuben is going to be a really good safety for the New York Giants. He's not going to be a single high type of guy, but you're not going to ask him to do that if you're a smart coach on the defensive side of the ball. I think that the New York Giants got a very good player at 47, a guy who does have Pro Bowl potential. At 70, cornerback Andrew Phillips. This gets a B+ for me. They needed to upgrade their secondary. They do that with Tyler Nuben. They do that with Andrew Phillips. Phillips is very sticky in coverage. He's a really good athlete overall, has very good speed, explosiveness, quick feet, fluid hips. He plays the game aggressively. He does miss some tackles. He doesn't have the greatest length, so there are some physical limitations there when you talk about his profile as an outside cornerback at the next level. But again, I think the way he plays the game, the stickiness he has in coverage, he's going to be just fine, and he is going to upgrade what the Giants had and pair well with Deonte Banks, in my opinion. At 107, tight end Theo Johnson out of Penn State. This is a prospect I thought should have been a day 2 pick. They get him in the 4th round here. Excellent value. He's an elite athlete. He has an elite physical profile. I think pairing him with Darren Waller, and you also have Bellinger, you have a really nice tight end room now. You already had a nice room. Now you have just like an embarrassment of riches at the position. Are you going to get into a bunch of heavy personnel? I think you can do that with Theo Johnson because I think he can be a certified run blocker, pass blocker as well with his size and length and strength, and then also a very good receiver at the tight end position. So now you have a loaded room, and you, I think, have a lot of versatility with your personnel. At 166, running back Tyrone Tracy, this is a B+ for me. A guy who had been playing wide receiver until this past season. Incredible explosiveness. A guy, he's a home run threat. I think he complements what you have in your backfield pretty well. Still has a ways to go development-wise, but he can absolutely be a 3-down back for you in terms of his ability to tote the rock, catch the ball out of the backfield, and also stand in there and pass protect, continue to develop that skill set. I think Tyrone Tracy was a great value at 166 for them. And then at 183, linebacker Darius Muasu out of UCLA. This is a C for me. I like the tape overall, especially in 2023 for him. I think he's instinctive. He's able to slip blocks pretty well and diagnose, and he's quick in a short area, good initial explosiveness. But he doesn't have long speed. He doesn't have very good length. He doesn't have good size. He's not super strong. I think this is going to be the type of linebacker that's going to be fighting for a roster spot and has to really prove it on special teams to be able to make this football team. But a 4.7 40-yard dash, again, undersized overall. So there's some issues there. I think the tape is really good. I think this is a good football player. Maybe he's able to just translate that to the next level. But generally speaking, guys like him who don't have the best overall speed, who don't have the best size, who don't have great length, it ends up being a little bit more of a struggle than you would expect, even with pretty damn good tape. So we'll see how it plays out for him. It is a C for me right now. I do like the player. I just kind of worry about the projection a little bit. The Giants, like I said, to me, they are all in on winning right now. Surrounded Daniel Jones with the talent on offense with Malik Neighbors, with Theo Johnson, Tyrone Tracy, to really improve the overall explosiveness, the overall consistency of this offense and versatility. I think Joe Shane and Brian Daboll did a good job with this draft. I think you also have to factor in landing Brian Burns with basically a second and a 2025 fifth. That's part of this draft class. That gets an A for me, a big time A. And it would be an A+, but for the fact that you also have to pay him a ton, right? So overall, this draft, I thought they did a really good job. They get an A-. I do think that, again, the linebacker late in the draft, not the greatest pick there, but it is a late round pick. I think that Tyrone Tracy, I like the pick, but again, was that the best value? Was that the most needy position on this roster? I would argue that it wasn't. But they needed help in the secondary. They got it. They needed a true wide receiver one. They got it. They needed a dynamic pass rushing edge. They got it, right? I would have liked to seen some OL mixed in there at some point, but you can't really do it all in a draft like this. So I think that they did a very good job overall. Again, it's an A- for me. Now, do the New York Giants have what it takes to make the playoffs again in 2024 after having a really disappointing 2023 campaign? 2022, they probably overachieved a little bit, won a playoff game. I like the receivers they have. I like some of the offensive line. Can Evan Neal take a step forward? Will he even have the opportunity to do so in 2024 with what they did in free agency? The running backs are decent. There's talent there, certainly. Tight ends are very, very good. The defensive front is impressive with Dexter Lawrence, with Brian Burns, with some of the other young guys they have as well, and veterans mixed in there. They upgraded the secondary in a big way. They're going to be an improved football team. Like I said, I think they get a very, very good mark for this 2024 NFL draft and their offseason overall. But it's going to be tough to push for the playoffs. We will do season predictions later on, obviously. But the Giants, in my opinion, took a giant step in the right direction. Sorry for the pun. They also just signed Allen Robinson. Just got news while we were recording here. So hopefully A-Rob has something left in the tank to help Daniel Jones out. We'll see how it plays out. Really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all have a good one.